stars have aligned to bring us all back together in this space that is the Captain's Quadrant. I'm your co-host, and with me is the co-host with the most, the amazing, the wonderful Jason Roy Gaston. How are you, sir?
Moopsie.
Moopsie. Yes, the thing that will always be stuck in our hearts, and including my mom's. Moopsie.
Moopsie.
How you doing, Ma? Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. How's this world of Star Trek treating you? We've got
it's given me a double treat this week.
Yeah.
2 excellent episodes
Yeah.
of what has become the most wonderful, the most feel-good, the most wholesome of Star Trek series. Of course, we're talking about Star Trek Lower Decks.
Lower Decks, baby.
Lower Decks. Don't give me that sarcastic Vulcan salute.
I think this is by far one of the best intros into a season that we've gotten in most of Trek. I really enjoyed every moment. So let's hop into the synopsis. So we have 2. We're going to do back to back.
All right, let's do it.
All right, you want to read that one?
The Cerritos ensigns must assist a caretaker on the voyage of a historically significant starship.
And then I'll do the other one. Mariner tries to get demoted. Rutherford tries to get promoted. And Boimler makes a big move. That was...
Comment. Leave us a comment. Who was better? Of course, we all know.
Yeah, we know. All right, let's hop into First Contact.
Thanks.
Classy AF.
Yeah, can't get any better than that. All right, give us your First Contact.
So we're just talking about the first episode, TwoVix, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 1, I love a good episode with lots of nostalgia. I can't help it. I'm a sucker for it. I know lots of people don't like it. I do. Number 2, I like a lot of good Voyager nostalgia because I love the fact that whenever this show first came out, everybody hated it. Now everybody loves it. I think that's what's going to end up happening to Discovery later on. Everybody hates it now, but in 10 years, everybody will look at it with fresh eyes and go, you know what? It was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you said, it's a great kickoff to a new season. They kind of hit the ground running. They don't waste any time introducing T'Lyn or show her having a hard time adjusting to the crew. She's just there. She's a member of the gang. And as I said before we started recording, this has become the most wholesome Star Trek series that we've ever had. And it's great because I honestly thought this series, whenever it was first announced, was going to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I was expecting more like Solar Opposites / like Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Feels. But they really like hit me with nostalgia member berries and the beloved animation. I really like this animation. It's in its own league. And then it flips between 3D because when you get the ships and the beautiful ships, they did such a great job.
Tell me you did not get goosebumps whenever those lights came up on Voyager.
I did, and
it was great.
It was, and though Voyager was my least favorite ship, I actually had great admiration for it. I was like, "Oh, that's right, the nacelles like move up and down." I forgot about that.
They're flappy.
Yeah, they fly. It's like flying through space for real. Yeah.
Yes.
So I absolutely loved this episode because I loved how spiraling into chaos it got. It reminded me of an anime called Akira. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I've never heard of Akira because I've been living under a rock on Mars with my fingers in my ear and a blindfold on.
I don't watch that, though. It reminded me of Akira because in the end, we got more than just TwoVix. We got Tetsuo.
Do you want to see my impression of Akira? Here we go. Canada! That's it. That's
there we go.
Last half hour of Akira.
Well done. Well done.
Yes, thank you.
Well done. Yes. All right. Well, let's hop right into pros and cons.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
So not very much a shit this episode.
No. I think that this was mostly just 2 episodes just filled up with cons.
Con! Hey, if you are a big Star Trek Wrath of Khan fan, be sure to check out our review of the Wrath of Khan. It's really fun, and you'll learn something because this man owns the script. You're that way. Yeah, there you go.
Your shameless self-promotion was both disgusting and relevant and correct.
You see, I'm not lying. Guy's the best.
Yes.
And while we're talking about shameless plugs, be sure you subscribe and give us a like. These likes and subscriptions really help us grow, and it gets those wonderful algorithms spread across the galaxy so that we can reach the lives and homes of the Star Trek fans. So, all right, my biggest pro was them reading what. Okay, so basically, what did Janeway do to work this out? Because it's like they don't follow everything that happened. And of course, the captain reasons, she goes, "Oh no,
She straight up murdered him."
Yeah, I laughed so hard I had to pause it because I recovered from COVID like 2 weeks ago, but I still have this like cough when I laugh too hard, and I was coughing up a storm. So, and I'm still like every now and then I'm coming with the cough. But one of my we discussed earlier, the ship, amazing as it looked, when it landed on Earth, kind of like, it's weird because you would figure since it's a spaceship, it's like much bigger, but it kind of looks like it fits right into a football field.
Well, I mean, that is the scale. I mean, it's
That's
basically as tall as a 15-story building, and just kind of
Kind of
you would think it would be bigger, but honestly, yeah, it's not that big, especially whenever you've seen it compared to the D or something like that. Voyager's actually kind of teeny tiny.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it looked amazing seeing it on the land and in the space, but
in the land and in the space.
In the space, it was in the space. It's space, but I like the space because I have the
solar opposites. We took off and went into the space.
Yes, I've been watching a lot of that show actually, so these things get stuck in my head. Yes. But I really like the caretaker. I thought he was hilarious because he's like freaking out, wanted to make sure everything stays where it was, and then just things start to spiral out of control. And Boimler gets the notion that he's actually getting promoted, so he's freaking out on top of everything else. And what a dude! Mariner just gives him the inspiration that he needs to save the day. And I thought that was incredible. What were your pros and cons?
Well, I had pros all over the place. I mean, I was spraying pros all over this episode like the macro virus was spraying slime just everywhere. Oh, Voyager. Oh, Voyager. Oh, the salamander. Oh, yeah. But oh my gosh, the wholesomeness of it all. You just get this warm feeling. I think Mariner and Boimler just have such an amazing friendship. There's nothing romantic about it. They are just genuinely good friends with very strong boundaries and respect for each other. And there's a genuine just paternal love between the two, like a brother and sister. And I find that so amazingly wholesome. And not only that, you get this between Boimler and Rutherford and Tendi and all of them. To me, these two episodes, and I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but these two episodes, I kind of get the feeling like the Cerritos is becoming a family, and I like that so much. Mariner's speech to Boimler was great. Just gave me all the feels. Seeing Voyager in all of its glory, engineering, astrometrics, the bridge. I miss being on that ship every week. I really enjoyed all of that. The ship looked amazing in its CGI version. And I have nothing but love for that. And I really like the way that they have integrated T'Lyn into the cast. That she's just there and she's a part of it already. And all the TwoVix stuff was just hysterical. I honestly am kind of surprised that they let them get away with all of the Janeway murdered TwoVix jokes.
Yeah.
The fact that it is, I'm not going to go into that because I'm waiting for us to spin that one on the agony wheel because I have things to say.
I have things to say on that.
I have things to say about TwoVix, and people are going to be very surprised by my opinions on this episode.
Oh,
but speaking of this episode, though, the TwoVix jokes were hilarious. I don't know who voiced to Billups. But every single line delivery had me in stitches. I just loved how they merged the personalities and the look of these two aliens. I wish that had carried on to the other smush ups. I don't know what you call them, but like
Yeah.
Captain Dr. Miggly something or other,
Right.
whatever they made Captain and Miggly move.
Yeah.
I wish that it had been, that they had balanced that personality out as well. But the other two Vixes were just set dressing. My cons is I do think that they kind of solved the TwoVix problem a little quickly and a little too easily, because it was just basically, oh, let me rewire this. Oh no, they're all a big meatball. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Remember Chekhov's gun? Look, we can solve it with this.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit disappointing, and I was also disappointed with the fact that we didn't get a Voyager cameo in this, like one of the actors. And although I am very, very happy with the way that they wrote this, I think it would have been great if like a promoted Harry Kim could have been there as a hologram talking about how scared he was of getting a promotion, but whenever he got it, he realized that he didn't want to be anything else. That would have been great. Or, Roxanne Dawson, throw her a bone. We haven't heard anything from Kim or B'Elanna. We're getting Tuvok. We got Tuvok. We got Janeway. We got the Doctor coming up on Prodigy. We're getting Neelix in the very, very short treks. I want to see all the old gang from Voyager.
We also got Tom Paris in Lower Decks.
We did get Tom Paris in Lower Decks, and He Who Shall Not Be Named is in Prodigy.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that debacle in STLV.
Oh yes, that's what I'm talking. He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah, He Who Shall Not Be Named really made a kerfuffle.
Yes.
Hiya.
Coochie Moya.
Yeah. Oh man. One of the other things that I thought was just a stellar moment in this episode was when they merged the dolphin and
I want a fish.
I die laughing.
It's not my best work, but I was in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I just thought that was fantastic, and I think that they just had a lot of fun making this episode. You could feel the joy that they have, and I really wanted like Tandy and somebody to be merged. I thought that would have been kind of cool.
I love the fact that they've retroactively suggested that Janeway saved Voyager by killing TwoVix.
Yes,
because TwoVix would have eventually turned evil and start smushing people together. You would have had two Torres, and you would have had Chako Kim
and yeah. And how about all those great cameos of classic villains from like the
oh my gosh. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Go for it.
The way they portrayed Chaotica, I loved it. I did not think that Lower Decks could take something from one of the live action shows and make it look better. The screen flicker, the way that he looked like he was on old film.
Yeah.
I'm honestly kind of sad we never saw that in live action, because that looked amazing.
It did. It really did. And I love the clown. Our buddy from They Better Call Saul, just hamming it up, and he
was that him?
I don't know.
Was that Michael McKean?
I don't think
it didn't sound like him.
No, I don't think it was him.
I would have loved to have seen Michael McKean come back, but by that point, they're just like, no, we spent all this money on the CGI Voyager. We can't afford Michael McKean right now.
Just admire the ship. And I love them playing the theme every time the ship was shown. It was like,
oh, can you imagine Michael McKean picking up a phone going, I'm sorry, they want me to do what? They want me to voice what character? The clown from like 30 years ago? No.
30. Oh, yeah.
I'm Michael McKean. I was on Better Call Saul, damn it.
Yeah. Wow. 30 years. It's amazing how fast time goes.
I want us to roll that episode too, because I have strong thoughts.
Oh. Yes. And for those of you that are wondering, we are talking about the amazing, thanks to VHS Jace or Commander Jace, our good old buddy from Down Under, The Wheel of Agony. And I'm going to share that with the friends right now. Yes, this amazing.
We're not going to spin this right now.
No,
we're just showing it off.
Exactly. So that
look at it. It will spin around the Antares maelstrom around perdition's flames
before we give it up. It's going to be a lot of fun when we get back in the Agony booth and we choose the next episode that we will be agonized by. And then you've got some opinions that apparently will shock
strong
me.
opinions.
Strong opinions that will shock me. So
yes,
I'm looking very forward to.
I have another con that just hit me.
Oh, con! Go for it.
Captain Ma.
Captain Ma
is dead. They killed Captain Ma, from the Klingon Lower Decks episode.
Oh, that's right.
They killed the dude, and I was just like, "Oh, he's going to change the entire Klingon hierarchy. He's going to bring honor to." Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, there's something going on with that little weird ship that looks like a probe. It doesn't even look like a
I
ship.
think they gave us a huge hint about what this thing is. In
really,
the very opening episode.
All right, let's hear it. I mean, I'd like to.
So we have this is season 4.
Mm-hmm.
We have a mysterious probe that is wreaking havoc and causing ship systems to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And what appears in the main credits that did not appear last season?
Yeah, the probe from Star Trek 4.
The whale probe.
Yeah.
What do they have on board the Cerritos in citation ops?
Wow, that's right.
So I think that Mike, and they reminded us that Mike the Whale lives on the ship.
Yeah,
in this
episode.
episode. I want fish.
Yeah.
I think we're getting the sequel to Star Trek 4.
Wow.
I want to see it.
So the probe is like an updated version of the original probe, and it doesn't mean to kill everybody. It's just happening to kill everybody.
I honestly don't think it's killing anyone. I think that we're getting foreshadowing. Because the next episode is about a menagerie.
Right.
What if it's just picking up things for kind of like a menagerie? What if the whale probe comes to Earth, 100 years ago and goes, "Oh my gosh, let's talk to these whales." The whales are like, "Yeah, we were put in the ship and we were saved. It was some kind of ark. Wow, Earth is a messed up place. Maybe we should be picking up things and putting them in an ark." So maybe they're not killing all these people. Maybe they're just like transporting them or putting them into a menage.
A menage. Well, then,
of course, I will probably be completely wrong because I don't think a single fan theory I've ever had has ever worked out. Butt bugs included, but
mine haven't either. So
it would be hilarious if this was the butt bugs, and I'm not even considering that.
God, that would be hilarious.
If anybody tackles the butt bugs, it's got to be Lower Decks.
Yeah. I mean, they're the ones that called it butt bugs. So
yeah, they started the whole butt bugs things. It wasn't me. It was Lower Decks.
It was Lower Decks. So that would be hilarious if it was them.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into the second episode. Let's re-go with the first contact.
Thanks.
That's right, my friends. You get 2 farts this episode.
We're classing it up around here.
Yeah, we're polishing off the old turd.
Do you think that like the Vulcan thought that might have been part of the Earth,
tradition?
Greeting, so he had to. Okay.
To you, sir.
Yeah.
Could be. This episode.
Just wait until the Klingons come. They have 2 anuses.
Oh, geez. That's probably what the Klingon theme comes from. Some farting.
Take some good sphincter control right there.
Yeah. They made it into an instrument. You have not lived life until you heard the Klingon butt opera.
Maybe that's what Klingon opera is.
Yeah,
we've never actually heard it.
This
it's a Klingon opera. Well, why is she bending over? Oh my! 2 of them, Sulu. 2 of them. Oh my!
Oh my! I think this episode, and this is, I have no bones. Yet I will flee. Set us up for the amalgamation again of a adipose from Doctor Who and a Pokemon. And that is Whoopsie. And Whoopsie. And I thought that was stellar. I couldn't believe where they were going with that. And I was shocked and delighted once it spiraled, like it spiraled out into what the episode was. And I didn't see the ending coming, even though I really should have, as to what the creature was, who let the creature go. And Moopsie, though very cute, drains the bones of all creatures.
Yes. Drinks the bones. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I saw, you did not see the trailer. I saw the trailer, so the big reveal about Moopsy was ruined for me. Did not ruin the enjoyment because it was just hysterical.
Absolutely.
Just them getting chased around. This is everything that one recent episode of Doctor Who tried to be and failed so spectacularly, so badly. I don't even remember the name of the episode in question. It was something 54, Studio 54, or this episode rates a 54 out of 100. I don't know, whatever it was. It was a terrible episode.
Is this the new season or like
this was one of the Jodie Whittaker episodes, and it had a cute little alien running around that was like deadly. And it was it was the worst thing ever.
Wow.
The Lower Decks did it so much better. Yeah. And I'm also gonna say, Jack Ransom. Oh my gosh. Who would have thought that this walking stereotype caricature of a Starfleet officer would turn into such a solid human being?
Yeah.
Just to the point that, he's basically, I don't know. He's the commander we did not know he was, because he was the post turtle. You look at him, you're just like, how did you get on top of that post? And what are you doing up there? He is just fantastic in this episode. He's inspiring and he's commanding, and this guy needs his own starship because he was great. And I love the way that Jerry O'Connell played him in this episode, because it's not him being petty. It's not him being mean, or it's not him just messing with her. He genuinely believes in her and thinks she's going to make a good officer, and he's not going to let her self-sabotage. I love that so much.
It was fantastic. I'm going to do a quick hellos. Of course, we said hi to Cosmic Mom. Of course, Sarah Andrews, our good
Hello,
friend.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. And then Kosi, what's up, buddy? He runs the church that I work with page.
I feel like I have to be on my best behavior because of church comments.
No, don't worry about it. He's a fun guy. It's probably his son too. It's probably not even him.
Okay. Let the sinning begin.
Woo! Vegas, baby. So let's hop into pros and cons so we can get even more of this delicious one.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
My biggest pro, of course, Moopsy, but seeing all those aliens that they kind of stored in the Menage was really cool. I thought there was a lot of things that I'd never seen before in Trek, like the big space snake, I guess you'd call it, that was in the middle.
No, I did recognize the Ophidian from Time's Arrow, though.
Oh,
not Time's Arrow. I'm sorry. The Ophidian from I think it was Q's second episode, where he shows up as the three-headed snake. They had one of those in there, so I was like, deep cut, like it. I'm sure there are many, many others, because this show's run by nerds, and they love their deep cuts, and they're very good at their deep cuts.
Yeah, there's so many Voyager deep cuts. And so this was a throwback to the very first episode or the remake of the TOS, when Captain Pike was
yes, the Menage.
And I thought that was a very cool nod. I was expecting the curator of this to be like that alien with the big head, but it was some type of carrot creature.
It was a banana guy, yeah.
It was one
of the banana guards from Adventure Time. I can't remember his name, but he kept referring to himself in the third person by his full name, like, Nango thinks that this is great. Nango loves you. Nango's dying. I felt bad. That's my con. I felt bad for what they did to the banana guy.
Really?
I did, because I didn't think he was that bad of a guy.
Oh, wow. Even though he held all those aliens prisoner, basically.
The humans was an accident. He admitted it was an accident. He was giving the humans back, and he was like, well, we keep all the other animals here as part of Starfleet rules. So he's just a harmless zookeeper. There was no other sentient aliens there.
Yeah.
You can argue that maybe Moopsy was a little bit sentient, because maybe it tried to crash the space station in the first place. But if you ask me, that's a monster that needs to be behind bars.
Yeah, that Moopsy was wild, man. I think that's the best pro out of this episode was Moopsy itself.
Moopsy was, oh my gosh.
Is this an alien that we've seen before? Because I don't recall.
I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah. And I think he or it or they were they were incredible.
They were hilarious. Just
And it like snuck out of stuff. It stalked them like a horror movie villain.
I
And
just love the way it was trying to get through the door. Just kind of. Even when you know it's this horrible, bloodthirsty monster, you're still looking at it going, "Aw, it
Right?
wants in the door. Give it your bones."
Yeah, it's hungry. Just let it have a few. You don't
Just let it have a femur.
200 of them. They got a bunch for you to replace. I also love that it gave me like Monty Python vibes.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
Except like, look at the bones. It was eating the bones. You know what I mean? Like,
Look at the bones.
yeah, exactly. You're a loony. Killer
Look
guy.
at the teeth. Big teeth.
I absolutely love that movie. It's one of my favorites, and I think
I laugh at that movie as much as I did the first time I saw it.
every time I see it.
It was actually recommended by a Sunday school teacher to me whenever I was like
Really
12. He was like, "You got to watch this movie. Watch
I
the
remember-
whole part about bring out your dad."
my God, you're not fooling anybody. Now, so a very morbid joke, and my mother and I absolutely love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. When unfortunately COVID had remanifested itself at the nursing home where she is, and she would text me because she ended up getting COVID. I'm not dead, and I'm like,
Not dead.
you're not fooling anybody. So there was a lot of things that just reminded me of just happy moments. So they really nailed it on the head there. But the con I had was the humans were the dicks that let the little Moopsie out. I thought that was kind of like cheesy. I was like, well, I get it, but and then
I honestly didn't mind. I didn't
didn't
suspect
mind
them. I didn't
Oh, wow.
suspect. So it was like, oh, surprise. I was thinking it was going to be the little weenie ensign who was doing it.
yeah, that was my second guess. Like that, it's like, oh, this is probably Ensign Weenie that did it. And
Yeah.
then I looked at the humans. It's like, something tells me that it's them, and they were like probably trying to plot to get that thing out earlier to kill the guy, the carrot banana guy, and it wasn't working. And then that's where we ended up. And I was like, kind of tropey, but we all love a little Trek joke. Yeah,
I got to talk about another pro that I have about this episode. And the B plot on board Cerritos, where Rutherford is trying to get promoted.
Yeah,
I love the way that Rutherford's subplot would affect what was going on with Boimler.
Right.
And even though the two storylines hardly ever met, there was still this cause and effect that was going on. And my favorite bit was whenever Rutherford is trying to increase the efficiency of the warp engines while Boimler's trying to move into the quarters right next to the nacelle, and it's like he turns on the thing gets brighter and it like burns out his eyes and everything.
And you had to put that like special glasses on.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny how that happened, and how they ended up meeting in the Jeffries tube, and Boimler helped along that plot by saying, "Oh yeah, that other guy was down here doing that." Vickers, whatever.
And then Rutherford gets promoted, and the guy goes, "Rutherford." Oh, that was great. I also like how well blended they weave. They basically had technically 3 plots going on at once, and they weaved it together so well. It was
it was masterful storytelling, especially for a 22-minute show. It was done very well. Also, Tiana is a freak.
No, Tiana.
Yeah, Dr. Tiana is a freak.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Because I just thought it was like weird sex stuff on the holodeck. No, she's like straight up murdering people and getting off on it.
Yeah, she's a little bit kooky. I would be careful. Well, I mean, cats are murderous by nature, aren't they?
They really kind of are.
Yeah.
And I just love the stupid cat jokes that they do in these episodes. Like the whole thing about, why do people always want to tell me about their pets?
Yeah.
Well, culturally insensitive, Billups. You should have really thought about that.
Yeah. I think another beautiful thing about this episode was the kinship between Tindy and Rutherford.
Yes.
In the end, like he's like, "Oh, I just want to make sure I'm still friends with you." Like I got to offer, like the solve was, "Oh, I got to offer promotions all the time. I always turned them down because I wanted to remain friends." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet!" Like, oh my God, I just couldn't believe, like you said, they literally are building a family in this series. And I really hope that this isn't the last season. I really hope that, they continue on for 7 seasons. That would be great.
Yeah, let's take the 100 seasons from Rick and Morty. Let's make 100 seasons of Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. Yeah, that would be amazing.
I want to, like, Admirals Boimler and Admiral Mariner.
Yeah. Or like, for a second, the way that the last episode and this episode ended and this episode began, I thought they were building up the other alien Lower Decks. Like, I thought we were going to get like here's the Klingon Lower Decks and the Romulan Lower Decks. And the Romulan Lower Decks are always trying to kill somebody so they can get a promotion. Like, the total opposite of the Federation. And I thought that's what the world building they were creating, but instead they went another path, which I still wholeheartedly enjoyed. and I love the throw to Nemesis. Oh yeah, we were torturing that Riemann. Oh, I got Riemann blood on me.
Riemann juice never comes out.
I thought that was hysterical. Oh my god, this show is so well written, especially for Star Trek fans, because I'm a big fan of Nemesis, and I get a lot of flack for it. But
that's just because you're wrong. That's all.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a hill I'll die on.
If you enjoy something awful, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like the one with the whales. I was like, no.
The one with the whales was great science fiction.
It's a good science fiction story, but like, how many times you guys go back in time?
As many times as they feel like.
We can do it all week, every day.
That's right. Anytime they want to. Kirk is his own great grandfather.
That's right. There we go. He went back in time and
he did the nasty and the pasty.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
Now, one of the things that I was very curious about was, why didn't Boimler know that you could adjust the windows?
Because he's an idiot. That's really about it.
That was it.
He's never been in that situation before. He's still kind of inexperienced, and he just, he just didn't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I'll accept that as an answer. That's pretty cool. But it does make for great comedy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do we think there's going to be any more surprises this season?
Well, every season has usually got a cameo from somebody. We know that I don't know if you've seen the trailers, but
I have, but like I don't remember because there's so much.
There is at least 2 characters from Deep Space Nine that are on the way.
Ooh,
which I'm very excited about.
Oh, I'm excited.
I would like to see more. They snuck in George Takei last season.
Yeah,
and it was such a great cameo. I want to see more legacy characters, even if it's just small little throwaway bits, like they did with James Cromwell as Cochrane. I want to see more of that. But yeah, we got some DS9ers coming back, and I love it when modern Trek throws love to DS9.
Yeah, DS9 is still my favorite Trek series,
and I love the fact that the tubes are called Tucker tubes.
Yes,
and nobody knows why they're called that. I just love it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love the thing about Lower Decks that I love most of all, besides all the nostalgia points, is when they flip out of the ship and they're in space, and just the way that the CGI is just so perfectly detailed.
It looks great. Yeah,
it is incredible. Even the Romulan warship, even though it was sideways.
Oh my gosh, they used the Probert model.
Yeah, that was
the original design for the Deridex class. Yeah, they used it.
It
looked so great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like, well, that's sideways. What's going on? And then I remember I'm in a Star Trek group called Chips. Is it Chips? Or maybe you told me about it. Somebody told me about it. Maybe my friend Jack. Yeah, it was Jack. Jack told me about it. He's like, that this thing is sideways. I know you like Star Trek, and shout out to you, Jack, for coming by and watching. You can always comment too, Jack. Don't be nauseous. It's not going to hurt you.
Don't be nauseous.
I mean,
it's hard to at this point of the show. Speaking of nauseous, hold on. She's here.
Uh-oh.
She's here.
Who's here? Da-da-da! Oh, he's a cutie. What's up? And
she has to get in my lap whenever I'm podcasting.
Yeah, and this is the inspiration for your book, if I'm not mistaken.
No, this one's not. This one's
Oh, okay.
This one's Demona.
This is Demona. Murder
Bean is over there being a fat turd, not moving.
Yes. Well, we love Murder Bean. We love all the cats.
Yes.
I guess it's time to fire at will.
Let's do it.
Fire at will.
Should have been more specific.
Yeah, right. Fine, Will. Oh, not me. We're gonna go back.
Only 2 days away from retirement.
Yeah, there you go. Moopsy is a killer cat like Moopsy. Moopsy. So we got Star Trek Day tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
And we've got some news that has already come out. We've got the return of Hemmer and the return of Short Treks.
Yes, very short treks.
Very short, all animated.
Hey, you know what? Whatever we can do to get more short treks, I'm happy with, because I love short treks, even if they're very short treks. But yeah, Hemmer's returning. The animated Star Trek, we saw Eric's and Mres are returning, and Ethan Phillips as Neelix is returning.
Right.
So I'm very happy and excited about all of that.
Yeah, they can do so much with animation. It's like you can really get a lot of the crew that can't do as much. Like you can get Walter Taylor, like true legacy TOS guys, and it's still left the three of them. Maybe not Shatner, but you could definitely get Walter Takei and Walter
Takei. Oh,
I merged them. I TwoVixed them. Look at that! I did it. Oh my, Captain. You could get the surviving members of the TOS crew. You can get some maybe some throwaway characters too, like one-offs that survived TNG.
I would love to see some. I would love to see an animated anthology show about all the legacy characters.
And one thing that I would have loved to see, and even though we kind of got it in Deep Space Nine, would be the Cardassian War. Like if we had like some stories that kind of touched on that, like what started that, and like kind of got delved into that. I know it was.
I would love to see them pick up with Garrick to see what Garrick's up to in 2501. See, that plain and simple Taylor. What's he up to?
Yeah, isn't he like kind of the leader of Cardassia?
Yeah. I would love to see. I'd love to see an episode where Admiral Bashir checks in on his old friend.
Wow, you got a double.
That would be great.
I would love that too. That would be incredible.
Of course, Bashir beams down and Garrick's got 2 glasses of wine and a romantic dinner. Doctor.
There we go. We finally.
Rick Berman's not in charge anymore.
Bashir. Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah. Those would be great. I can't wait for that. And we have some other, I'm sure.
Garrick, I'm afraid you have completely the wrong idea about me. You see, I'm not interested in. Are those cupcakes? I'll join you for a little while. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So true. I think we're going to have some other surprises, probably some updates of projections. And I really think there's going to be, based on the trailer of Star Trek Day, I think there's going to be a Section 31 update.
I hope so. I think right now it's just, we're waiting for the strike to be over.
Yeah.
Same as last month.
Yeah.
How's everything going on Strange New World? Waiting for the strike to be over. And are we getting Star Trek Legacy? We're waiting for the strike to be over.
Exactly. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be weird. It's like it's Star Trek Day, and we're going to talk about the strike being over, and then maybe we'll get this, and this. Like, no matter what they project to come out into the future, it's going to be like, yeah, but the strike has to end first. So
yeah.
I'm hopefully. I heard there's like a come to the table moment next week, on the 11th, I believe it was, that I read somewhere. I'm hoping that's true, but I do know that the gaming industry is going on strike. They're joining.
Boy, we're not going to have any entertainment in a couple.
No,
months.
It's going to be a very boring world. Just what some of the the Bible Belt would love. It's like, oh, good, you can read the Bible with us. Oh,
we all know what the number one consumer of what is in the United States. It's all the Bible Belt. We know what you guys are doing when you're not watching.
Nothing like corn
in the Bible.
Yeah. Shucking corn.
Yeah, they're shucking their corn.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird to like have all these announcements and then like this will come out in the future. It's like you can't really announce anything.
No, can't really do anything. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I think the long shot, which I'm kind of hoping for, I think they're going to announce the uncancellation of Prodigy.
Oh, wow.
Because that to me would make perfect sense because they need content.
Oh my god!
And they've got an entire season, which I know the showrunner says the entire season will be done by December. They've got an entire season right there. Why not uncancel Prodigy and put it out on the network? The only thing I can think of that's standing in their way is maybe there's some kind of legal problems with Nickelodeon, because we know that they've partnered up with them. That's the only thing I can think of. The only way to justify their boneheaded decision to not only cancel Prodigy but take it completely off their streaming network.
Yeah, which was weird because it's like, oh, I'd like to go. Like, I literally was like, oh, you know, we were talking about cameos and things like that, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to watch that Deep Space Nine one when they had like the practice on the ship and they had Odo there because I really miss Renee Jones. And I realized, oh, I can't because they took that off.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
You can order it on Blu-ray though. So
yeah,
all 20 episodes are on Blu-ray. So I highly encourage you, if you want to support Prodigy, buy the heck out of the Blu-rays.
Okay,
purchase them on pay for streaming. I know a lot of people. Well, I've already seen it. I don't want to buy it again. Do it if you want to send Paramount a message. Send it in the language they understand. Send it in profit.
Yes,
because they are a bunch of little Ferengi.
Yeah.
It's like, profit.
Yeah, exactly.
Make more of this money.
Money, you say? Money.
I don't know why the Ferengi turned into the penguin from Batman. Roll of acquisition number 22.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. So that's it for me. Are there any other things that pressing on your mind?
I can't really think of anything other than I'm just so happy that Lower Decks is back. This is the show that makes me happy. And I think that this is the series that I really look forward to more than anything else. I hope it goes on forever. I hope that it never stops. I want it to be like The Simpsons. I want it to be on in 40 years and everybody look at it and say, you know, the first 1,000 episodes were a lot better than the last 1,000 episodes.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
I really want to know what the probe is. Like, I know we're going to find out maybe the second to last episode or something like that, but like when they do the mystery box, it's like, oh, I'm so puzzled. Like, what is it? What is it? What is it?
I love the way they're doing their mystery box because the mystery doesn't affect any of the other storytelling.
Yeah,
it's just true. Like, here's this thing that's coming. Okay, now here's our adventure. Oh, remember this thing? It's coming. And here's our adventure.
Right. Yeah, they do a good job of like compressing all these stories and interweaving it into an amazing wicker basket that is Star Trek Prodigy. Our buddy Bill the Asian Pirate. The first 2 episodes were epic.
Indeed they were. Yes,
they so were, man. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you wouldn't mind, please give us a like. I know you're already subscribed. Our good friend the Asian Pirate. I hope you're safe in Florida. I heard you guys might be getting another terrible hurricane, so just brace yourselves.
I really hope like the entire state is being punished.
Yeah, it's being punished for
sins.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on down there. The look on your face, man. And that's gonna do it for this week on the Captain's Quadrant. Be sure to join us next week. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're gonna have a special guest. We're gonna have a young gentleman. I'm going to, of course, cheat and make sure I don't mess it up.
You don't even know his name, do you?
I do know his name was David, but I wanted to make sure we're going to have...
I know his name is the most common name in America ever.
I just like to make sure that...
His name is David Human Person.
David Breathing Guy. We're going to have David J. Majors from the Prom Trek Pod joining us next week. We're very excited to have him join us in the Captain's Quadrant with our good buddy Jason Roy Gaston and myself. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys all join us here next week for that and have a good time. So until next time, live long and prosper, and we will see you next week. Don't get into any shenanigans because, you know, they're going to sing
Shenanigans are so much fun, though.
Indeed. Take care, everybody.